Let's remind you of our leading stories at this hour. South Africa is mourning following the passing of Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu. Tributes have been pouring in from around the world following the passing of Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu, including in the United Kingdom, where he studied and worked. Residents of Jacobsdal in the Free State are counting their losses after their houses were destroyed by a violent storm. Let's bring you a story of hope now, from the toughest beginnings in South Sudan to becoming a pioneering pulmonologist in Johannesburg. Dr. Emmanuel Taban is our African Person of the Year. He has achieved so much and travelled such a great distance, literally and figuratively, to get there. He was born in a mud hut in Juba, later to become the capital of independent South Sudan, but then still part of Sudan. In 1994, aged 16, he was abducted by Sudanese troops and tortured because they thought he was a rebel spy. He escaped from them on foot, intending to go home, but took a wrong turn and instead walked into Eritrea. To tell us more on his story to success is one of our leading pulmonologists, Dr. Emmanuel Taban. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for tonight. We speak on a night when a lot of people in South Africa are really cherishing the life of a man that the globe is calling a moral giant, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And at the same time, we'll look at a story like yours, a story of hope. I wonder, what are some of the reflections before we even get into your win tonight as you think about the life of Archbishop Desmond Tutu?
Thank you very much, Bongiwe. It's really incredible honor for the opportunity. What I will tell you, that without people like Desmond Tutu, Nelson Mandela, we might not be where we are today. They're the people that actually open gate for us, especially as young black people in the country, for us to be able to access proper universities like University of Victoria, Stellenbosch, and all those. So for me, I'm very grateful for struggle icons like himself, of course, and then there are quite many more. But I mean, Tutu has played quite a big role. I mean, if you look at the role with the Truth and Reconciliation, which was amazing, something that was never done in Africa. And he did it with quite kind of excellency. So for me, he was an icon that I always look up to. It was said that I couldn't meet him, but for me, he was one of the people that we will remember for a long time, along with Nelson Mandela. And I hope the next generation would produce another Desmond Tutu, hopefully.
And Dr. Taban, the story of the TRC will definitely resonate with you, given where you come from and the injustices that you've had to pull through in order to get to this moment. And as you say, it's not something that we see really happen in this continent, especially when it comes to accountability for those who are responsible for atrocities.
Yeah, I think in Africa, we really struggle to create accountability in this continent. Most of the atrocities that are committed, none of them is being accounted for. And Tutu was able to really bring that and actually, it did it the way that it was not, it didn't create that kind of instability. And I just wish we will have another Tutu in South Sudan to create that kind of accountability and true reconciliation. For that, I mean, we can move forward. I mean, if you look at South Africa, 25 years ago and now, it's completely different country with different kind of challenges. So people are living together. Diversity become the key. And I think there's quite a lot of things have changed. I think we understand the nature of the problem a lot much better as compared before. I mean, before true reconciliation, everybody was angry. But after every true reconciliation, people now a bit more calmer than previously. So for me, it's something that I think Africa could learn from Desmond Tutu and South Africa as a leading role in reconciliation.
And you've just won African Person of the Year. How are you feeling?
Well, I don't know. You only win when you compete for something. So I haven't really competed for anything. People just think that I've been amazing and they just choose me. So for me, I haven't. I would love to win something after, that vigorous exercise. And I think when I was working as a pulmonologist, I really didn't, my race was not to win anything, was really to be the best in what I could do. And unfortunately, that of course, that became as a presence. Thank you for the South Africa and people in Africa actually for nominating me here. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
And I take it you're surprised. I mean, in the run-up with Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema and Dr. John Nkenga Song, really, that's a big deal.
No, I think, look, I remember one of my colleague pulmonologists sent for me the nomination. Then he said, vote for me. So what I did, I took the vote and I voted for the Zambian president because I've been following him. So I said, no, he deserves to win. And my wife said, well, why did you do that? I said, no, I just think that he's the president of the country, leading a quite powerful nation. So I voted for Zambian president. So I didn't think I'm going to win anything anyway. And I wasn't even looking forward for it. So it was a big surprise. That's again, thanks to the South Africa and African republics to actually acknowledge my efforts. And I really appreciate it. And I hope most of young people that are actually reading my story or watching, it's just clearly showing that you don't need to do anything special. You just need to focus on what you could do and be best in what you do. And the rest, the public, the world, everything else can probably choose you. So thank you for that.
And I'd really like to stay with that message because yours is a journey that you took when you were quite young and you did not even know that you'll end up in South Africa really doing what you're doing now. There's a young person who probably knows, of you and may even by a stroke of luck watch this at some point from the country where you come from. I wonder, what do you say to the young people there when it comes to keeping the hope alive in the face of what's going on?
I think what I would tell them that the reality is that poverty is a temporal phenomenon. It's never permanent. And that's the reality. And also, success is nothing special apart from really doing hard work and only focus on the basic and being the best in what you do. We are all meant to do great things. We all have within us. And everybody just need to focus and moving forward. And one of the things that I think as a young people, they need to focus on themselves as I, not as we. Means I, why am I not successful? Why am I not doing well? Why am I not being good? And I think people need to develop themselves to become the best in what they do. And I think for me, whatever they do, they need to do it with the best of their ability. And I always say to people that Africa is where it is because of us, that we are not doing enough to lift the continent forward. And for those, of course, in South Sudan and other poor African countries, that don't lose hope. You can become whoever you want to be. You can be in my position one day, provided that you put so much work on it and provided that you never give up in your journey. Focus on your journey and focus on yourself. And don't ever entertain all the wrong things that are happening in the continent. Don't focus on those. Focus on the positive. And we can get out of this situation one day.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on that win. It is a pretty big deal, as your wife has said as well. Thank you for that.